pregnant. This is the first time Julien is in a park that he's not totally familiar with and I don't have control over. He wants so much to be like the other children and to play with the other children, but most of them just look at him, they point and they say, "What's wrong with your face? And why do you look like that? And you're ugly. And I don't want to play with you," and they run away from him. So he's very sensitive, he's very intelligent, he's very articulate, and he tries. And when given the opportunity, he's talking about his disease now. When he has the opportunity, he explains that it's not contagious, that it's a consequence of his second transplant, his second bone marrow transplant. Oh, sorry. Hey, Alvin, why don't you slow down just a little? It's not the worst thing in the world. You're making a friend.
Just go under.
He's a cutie pie.
That's his little brother.
So make friends with him. You can outrun him.
You can't even talk.
Yeah, but you could play tag and you could run faster than him, right? Take advantage, dude. Go ahead, tag, you're it, and run away. Okay? Get even. Take advantage. Say hi. Graft versus host disease, otherwise known as, or more commonly known as GVHD. Graft versus host disease occurs when a bone marrow transplant is taken. It's actually the exact opposite of rejection. Many people confuse it. It's not rejection. In order to successfully have the marrow take over fully, sometimes you have to leave the T cells in, which are your immune system basically. You get the stronger immune system to come in and take over and rebuild and reboot your life. Carla, just keep your hands out in case they need you.
You can walk and talk.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
In Julien's case, his first transplant was considered successful, but since he relapsed 4 months later, they needed his second transplant to include his T cells. So, because Julien's second transplant had to matter, it had to count. We did much harsher chemo, we did radiation, and we decided to do it leaving the T cells in. So it's really a complete transplant. The problem with having a complete transplant is that once you take over the existing immune system, you have problems with your organs because you have new blood, you have new marrow, you have new everything, but you have a different immune system, so your new immune system does not recognize your heart, your liver, your kidneys, your skin.
Or your spleen.
Right, so skin is usually the first organ to go, so to speak. Graft versus host disease comes in two forms, acute and chronic. Acute occurs in the first 100 days after transplant, and chronic, Julien's case was the 100th day, so he's really on the fence, but he absolutely has a thickening of the skin. He's got what's called scleroderma also. So he's got a thickening of the skin, he's got an incredible painful rash. But fortunately right now, he's been on high dose steroids for a very long time.
I'm sit right here.
Okay, sit right there.
You need to catch your breath, you haven't had anything to drink. And your
what
heart's about 180.
I want to ask you what graft versus host disease is.
It's a virus and it's kind of weird to have it. I mean, a lot of kids have it, but not many that I know.
And how do children react to you when you're in the park, for example?
They go, "What's wrong with your face?" Or, "What's on his face?" Or, why is your face all different, multiple colors and stuff like that? I tell them it's a virus, it's a little rash. I tell them the truth. And somehow they kind of ask someone else, what's wrong with his face? And the other person says, I don't know. And then that's it. That's all that's left.
Are they afraid that they're going to catch something?
Yes.
And what do you tell them?
I tell them it's not contagious, but they still kind of don't believe me. My mom thinks I'm beautiful just the way I am.
Right. She thinks you're the most beautiful person in the whole world?
I'm beautiful just the way I am. I beat cancer twice. I got 2 transplants. And I have a match of DNA with someone my mom knows about. Well, so far I know all I got is a name. And I'm gonna have a fundraiser this year. It's gonna be pretty soon, but somebody's gotta do it. It's a dangerous job, but somebody's gotta do it. And that somebody is me, Julien Collot. It's getting pretty cool. I'm Julien Collot. I'm 6 years old, and I got 2 transplants. Plus, I survived them. I have a super donor, and all I know, he's a nice man, and I have a lot of fundraisers. This year's one is going to be great.
All right, tell me
I know it. I'm Julien Collot. I got 2 bone marrow transplants, and I'm 6 years old.
And you're a survivor?
And I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. And survivors stay strong. And I believe in the yin and yang. In the balance between good and bad. Sweet and not sweet. You need to balance the sweet with the sour. All in the power of 2 things. Good, bad, it doesn't matter. If you mix them together, it's all in the heart. I'm fighting it, and it's starting to get better. And there's this really irritating rash I'm trying to take care of. The graft versus host disease. I am beating it. So, if anybody's listening to this, stay strong. Believe in yourself. Believe you could fight any type of cancer, and you'll be like me.